Hi, boys and girls. Today I want to remind you how to write a good sentence. There are 4 things that we need to remember when we're writing a sentence. So I'm going to show you the 4 very important things that you need to have when you write a good sentence. Okay, so let me first think of a sentence that I want to write. Today I took a walk with my family and I realized how much I love this season that we're in. What season are we in right now? If you said spring, you are right. We are in the month of spring. So I put this little picture here to show you some of the things that we might see in the springtime. Beautiful flowers, some butterflies, the sun shining, and these are the things that make me love spring. The weather is so beautiful in the spring. So this is my favorite season. And that is the sentence that I'm going to write today. This is my favorite season. Now I'm going to write that sentence right here on this line. So let me move my picture over here so you can see that line. And I'm going to start writing right here. Now let's talk about the first important rule of writing a sentence. The first important rule of writing a sentence is to start with a capital letter. We always start our sentence with a capital letter. Let me think about my first word. The first word is this. And the first letter in that word is the letter T. Now I need to start my sentence with a big T, a capital T. Sometimes we say an uppercase T. And there it is. Now I can write the rest of the word in lowercase letters. We only need that first letter to be a capital letter. So there's the rest of the word. THIS. That's how we spell the word this. Okay, great job. Great start, boys and girls. Now let's talk about the next rule of writing a sentence. Spell your sight words correctly. You have learned many sight words this year, more than 100 sight words. And whenever you're using those words in a sentence, you should spell them correctly. If you're not sure how to spell a word, you can go back and look at your sight word list, but please take the time to spell the words correctly. Okay, this is one of our sight words, and I know you know how to spell that. I-S is. This is my. Is my a sight word? If you said yes, you are correct. My is a sight word. And think about how to spell that before I show you. M-Y spells my. And there I spelled it perfectly correctly because we always spell our sight words correctly. Okay, here's the next rule of writing a sentence. Rule number 3. Listen carefully. Stretch out some words. And this is a good rule for your mommy or daddy to hear. If they're close by, you can tell them to come over and watch. I want them to know that in kindergarten, it's okay to stretch out some words. Sight words, you must know how to spell correctly. But some words are too big. We haven't learned them yet in kindergarten. And so it's okay to stretch them out and do the best spelling you can. So the next word in my sentence, let me go back and reread. This is my favorite. Favorite is not a sight word, and it's a word you haven't learned before. So instead, I want you to stretch out that word and write down the sounds you hear. Let me do it with you. Here we go. Favorite. There's favorite. It. Favorite. Now, mommies and daddies know that this is not the exact spelling of the word favorite. But in kindergarten, it's the perfect spelling because you're stretching out your words. But the last word in my sentence is the same thing. The word season. You might not spell it perfectly correctly, but if you're stretching it out, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So let's stretch out that word season together. Say season. Here we go. Ooh, that's like a sight word. S-E-E. Sun. Sun. There it is. And mommies and daddies will know that that's not the exact right spelling of season, but it's okay because we're using our inventive spelling. We're stretching out our words. Okay, I have one more very important rule I want to show you today. So the next rule and the last rule is end with punctuation. Please finish your sentence with punctuation. Now there are 3 kinds of punctuation. Most boys and girls know the period. That's one way to end a sentence. And here's my period. I'm going to add my period right there. There we go. This is my favorite season. Period. That's the end of my sentence. I want to show you one more kind of punctuation today. This sentence, it gets me excited. I'm so excited about spring. So listen how I read it. This is my favorite season. Instead of using a period, there's another kind of punctuation I can use called an exclamation point. And here it is. Here's my exclamation point. Let's see, here it comes. There it is. So instead of using a period, I can also use an exclamation point. We must always end with some kind of punctuation. Okay, boys and girls. So let's think about what we've learned today. How to write a good sentence. Rule number 1, start with a capital letter. Only the first letter in your word should be a capital. All the rest of the letters are lowercase. Spell sight words correctly. If you know the word is one of your sight words, then try to write it the correct way. Stretch out some words. Some words you don't know, and that's okay. You say them slowly and you write down the sounds you hear. And the last thing we talked about today was ending with punctuation. And here's the 3 choices. We have the period, the exclamation point, and we didn't talk about this one today. This one's called a question mark. All sentences must have punctuation at the end of the sentence. Great job, boys and girls. Keep on writing.